Hi everyone, it's Mark from Not Defining. Today I'm going to be running down some of the top things that I like about men. That's right, we're talking about the guys, the blokes, the lads, the chaps. As a bisexual man myself, I'm going to be sharing this with you, so check out this video. Wonderful people, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well today. It's Mark, I'm Not Defining. This is a place where we delve into sexuality, into gender, sex, relationships, and everything else so that you can come to find your best self, however you define. So a bit of a fun one today. I am talking about what I love about men. If you haven't checked out my video on what I love about women, then it's popping up just there. As a bi person, obviously, I have a lot of love to give for the whole gender spectrum. So we're going to be talking about the masculine side. By the way, when I say men, I mean anybody who defines as man. So just disclaimer at the start. I love men because, first of all, I am one. Okay, and there's something so crazy about this idea that there's this connection between us, which is like affectionate and romantic, and that's not something that you're supposed to do as a man. So when a man kind of breaks out of that masculinity and kind of like shows you affection, there's this amazing feeling of not only like relief, because you kind of live in this world where men are supposed to be tough and men are supposed to be just, platonic. You have this amazing rush of like, oh my gosh, there's something more here. The second thing that I like about guys is that it's easier. It's easier to get with guys than it is with girls. I don't know if other people have experienced this, but I think often the transactional nature of kind of the community of men who get with men, it just means that if I wanted to get with a guy, I could basically like do it whenever I wanted. With women, dating tends to be a little bit more difficult. There's like more stages to it, and there's a lot more like that goes on. When you're with a guy, there's just this kind of very clear, very kind of straightforward aspect to it. It's like practical. And that is actually quite good for somebody like me who struggles a bit with confidence. I'm not like a Lothario, I'm not very good at flirting. And so I have actually found like that mask to mask interaction to be a little bit more simple. That's just me. The third thing I like about men is that for me, there's a lot more variation, particularly kind of on a basic level. So what I mean by that is like when you're a man with a woman, normally the roles are defined or at least assumed at the start. You can have a lot of variation with women, but there's always that heteronormative kind of expectation because, just even like the way that your bodies are, like it's just gonna go in a particular way. When you have two masculine bodies, there's a lot more kind of like choice. There's a lot more like interplay. There's a lot more like exchange of energies, and it's like who's gonna be the dominant. Who's going to be the subdominant, like how's this going to go? And you can kind of shift between different energies. I tend to like, I guess, two main types of guys. One would be, I guess, like a big, strong man who's maybe a bit older than me, like maybe a bit mature, big guy, tough guy, type of character. And I love the feeling of being with that person and feeling kind of safe, feeling like I can be the sub, like even just being hugged, like that feeling of surrender to someone who is kind of, I guess, physically dominant to you. It's an amazing, amazing feeling. I love that feeling of being held by a big, tough guy. The second type, or the second category of guys that I tend to like is like the complete opposite. So I like kind of boyish, cute little guys, small frame, pretty face, soft skin. And I get to then be that kind of protector, that kind of dominant energy. And that's really nice. I'm not versatile. So it'd be very, very rare for me to find a guy that I would want to play both roles with, although it has happened, can happen, but it would be a very special guy that would occupy that space for me. I tend to want one role and the other role. And if the person wants a different role, then I can't. It just doesn't work for me. Don't know about anyone else, but that's just the way that it is for me. So I love those two energies that you can feel. The next thing I love about guys is that in general, I feel like you could be a little bit like rougher with guys. Obviously, it's extremely important to make sure that anyone you're having an interaction with is consenting and feels comfortable. But with the kind of physical strength differential between a man and a woman, normally, okay, you as the man will be physically stronger than the woman. You've got to be really, really considerate in that situation. With guys, you're more likely to be with someone who is your physical equal in terms of strength, okay? And so I find that it's much easier to kind of playfully push boundary, to kind of be a bit rougher. There's this masculine energy there. And once again, as someone who I'm quite considerate, I'm quite empathic, I'm quite sensitive, so it's nice to feel that freedom that I can kind of have fun and play around in that way. I absolutely love the male form, particularly when men wear like really well-fitting clothes. I love suits. I love women in suits. I love men in suits. I just love suits. I love it when a guy wears like a really nice suit with like really nice fitting everything. You can see that beautiful kind of masculine form. I tend to like kind of bigger guys. I'm not into like skinny guys. Don't know why, but I love the way that men wear like clothes. I love to see, for example, when there's a man who has nice arms, for example, wearing a t-shirt or a nice chest. I love it when men have like beautiful beards, moustaches, even like eyebrows, and they're just like beautifully groomed and just looking fantastic. So if there is a guy who's just looking great, I love that. And the other funny thing about with men is that because I am one, there's also like an admiration there. So it's like, I'm attracted to you because I think you look great, but also I'd really love to look like you. So there's that weird kind of like, almost like competition, admiration, inspiration. I just think, wow, you look so great. Like, it's that kind of thing as well with men. So it's a nice other element to it. My favorite thing is when there is a guy who is both kind of masculine and strong in his demeanor, but also at the same time really kind, really sensitive, and really caring. That drives me wild. If you are strong and confident in yourself, caring and kind in your demeanor, like, I'm yours. It's really, really wonderful. And finally, I love men in some kind of like authority position. If you remember when I talked about what I like about women, I love the type of women where, you know, there may be like a CEO, or there may be like a policewoman, or like there may be, you know, that's just my little like fantasy. I love that. I love a guy who is in uniform, you know, when the firefighters or whatever it is, even like doctors, like anything like that. I think regardless of gender, I just love somebody who is firm and in control, like someone who is letting me let go and feel kind of safe and held and protected, whether that's a man or a woman. I love to feel that energy. So that's me. Please tell me about you. What do you like about men, masculine people? Are you female? Are you male? Are you bi? Are you gay? Are you straight? Are you whatever? I'd love to know. I hope you enjoyed me just sharing that with you, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.